As we've discussed in class, normal faults, when they first form, are very commonly segmented before a whole lot of displacement is taking place, where a series of faults that are not directly connected help accommodate extension across a region. Now, the relay ramp that we observe in the Hidden Valley Fault Zone is something that resulted from the interaction of fault segments. And so I want to take you through the story, and it's a good story that Farrell and others associated with Southwest Research, the story they put together for that system. Now, we've talked about the idea that as you approach a fault tip, displacement along a given fault is going to die out to zero. And so if you look at two faults in this orientation, hopefully you can see that when you are right at those tips, and I'm just going to circle one then the other, there is no displacement, and hopefully you can see that the displacement increases as you move away from those tips. But what you want to consider, though, is that if more displacement takes place, what will end up happening is you right now have a concentration of stress right at the tip associated with each fault. And so as that fault propagates in either direction, so each segment propagates laterally as displacement increases, what will eventually happen, and hopefully you can already see this, is that the beds in between those segments end up having a dip, right? And that is your ramp. And the idea of a relay ramp is that you are relaying strain between two segments. So in other words, as you think about what happens to, and here I'm going to go ahead and erase this. As you think about what happens to the amount of displacement when it goes from high to low along that fault, that displacement, once it dies off to zero, if you look across at where it is relative to this fault segment over here, hopefully you can see that by the time the fault segment that's closest to us has that displacement die out, now the displacement associated with the fault over here, and I'll just go ahead and pretend like this is your displacement, like a slicken line right there telling you how much slip has taken place. Now hopefully you can see that now all of the displacement is taken up by the fault that's in the background. And so what that means is that a bed that lies, or the strata that lie between those two fault segments will become tilted like that. And so it's kind of a cool thing to think about if you are actually going to walk along. Let's say you take a little walk, if you walk here and then you say, okay, you know what, I want to walk onto the footwall of this closer fault. And what's interesting though is now you are in the hanging wall of the fault in the background and the footwall of the fault in front of you. And you've just walked up that relay ramp until basically now you are just in the footwall of the fault in the background. And then by the time you walk over here, and then you walk along over here, now you are in the footwall of the fault in the background. So what's interesting though is when you create a relay ramp like this, and you end up getting a fault that propagates further, you will actually end up seeing, have to go ahead and advance this. Whoops. You will actually end up seeing a significant amount of torque that is placed in the zone between those fault tips. So hopefully you can see that what has happened in B is that the fault in the background has propagated to the right. It's propagated this way just a little bit, and the fault in the foreground has propagated just a little bit this way. And so now that relay ramp is more extensive, and the amount of deformation in the beds between them has become greater as well. So that hopefully you can see that, and they're trying to show that with all of the lines drawn, and I'll try and show you what I'm talking about. If you look at the lines in that area, they're trying to show all the torque and all the deformation that's taking place in the relay zone between those two faults. And so in that ramp area, you actually get a lot of deformation. And what can eventually happen is that these two faults can continue to propagate and then actually form faults both within the relay ramp, but then also, and here I'm going to try and show this again with a couple of brief drawings. If you consider that here is your fault trace, sort of the base of that fault, it comes right up here, and then the fault trace over here is right there, what can eventually end up happening is that you actually have, instead of continuing propagation like this along that fault that's closer to us, instead what'll happen is that it'll actually link. You'll have the fault that's closer to us link with the fault that's behind us. And the fault back here, what can end up happening is it can eventually end up bending across and then linking with the fault in the background. So I'm just going to pretend like we have more than the block diagram shows here. So that the zone that used to make up that relay ramp actually becomes detached from either the hanging wall area, and let me go ahead and I'll circle that. Hopefully you already have a pretty good idea about this. So over here, this zone, you would consider that to be in the hanging wall of the overall fault system. Area over here is the footwall of the overall fault system. And the zone in between those, that relay ramp zone, actually detaches from both of them and can dip very steeply. And so when we look at the deformation that is accommodated within the relay ramp of the Hidden Valley Fault Zone, and we only have one that is really well exposed, that's what you want to be thinking about. The fact that that relay ramp and the deformation within it formed because you were caught sort of between two segments of the system. And as you trace the Hidden Valley Fault Zone along the spillway, as published in the Farrell publication, Farrell et al. Publication, hopefully you'll really clearly be able to see where that relay ramp falls and the two different segments that help control it. So I hope this has helped. Obviously, this is something that we can talk about in class if people have questions about it.